In this tutorial, you will learn how to edit the Smoke and Lights poster version 2. The first thing to do is to insert your player. Go to the Player Here layer, go to File, Place Embedded, find wherever you have downloaded your player files, hit Place, transform to the size you would like, hit Enter. Go to the Player Here layer, hit Delete. From here, I'm going to change the lights. Go to the Lights group, open it by clicking on the arrow key. There's 4 different colors of lights, one for the left light itself, one for the left beam, one for the right light, and one for the right beam. So you can do all different kinds of things if you like. Here, we're going to change the left beam to purple to go with his uniform. You can adjust the opacity here, making it darker, lighter, like it, let me go about 60, maybe 68. And then let's do the right beam. Same thing, click. And let's change that to 68, in this case, highlight, and then type 68, enter. Now we'll go to the left beam, double click, and here I'm just going to drag it up to the purplish. That actually looks pretty good. What you can do here, this is called the color code. If you just copy this, then we can paste it onto the other beam. So Command C on a Mac is the shortcut, Control C is the shortcut on a PC, or you can always go Edit, Copy. So now we're going to go into the right beam, double click, and then we're just going to paste Control V on a PC and Command V on a Mac to paste the color and hit OK. So there we have the lights color. You can adjust the opacities here too, vary them however, you like it. I think we're going to go back to 50 there. Then just close this group, just easier to see everything that way. The next thing we're going to do is change the color of the light here off the name of the school. So that's under that team name layer here, double click, change the team, make this one, just make it Grizzlies. Hit the checkbox to commit. Actually, let's not hit the checkbox yet. See how this is too big? If you hit Command on your Mac or Control on your PC and hold it down, you'll see this box. And you can go in and adjust the size right here. You have to be careful because it's really, you can get it out of whack pretty easy, but this is the quickest way to adjust the size. You can also adjust it up and down, but again, just be careful. And then hit the checkbox. So now we'll go in and adjust that background glow color. And we'll go into outer glow here. Outer glow selected. So double click. You can go right into here, get that color. That's obviously too much. Or we can paste that other purple color we had by Command V. There we go. That's probably the better idea there. Hit OK. And then let's go in. This inner shadow you shouldn't need to change. It just gives a little bit of a shadow on the inside of the text. But this stroke, right now it's this yellowish, orangish color. And let's see, we could change it to white. See how that looks. It's very subtle. I like that. It's a little bit of brightness there. You can change it to whatever you want. This is where you let your creativity run wild. And you can change the opacity. About out there. You can change how big it is. So it's really just, up to you. Hit OK. Now let's just go change the player name. You want to capitalize the first letter, and then the other will be lowercase, or you can capitalize it all. I prefer the capital and then the lowercase look. And capital, lowercase. Hit the checkbox to commit your change. If you did want it a different color, go in and double click. Here's how to change the color. I prefer the white pop on a poster like this. Always hit this checkbox to commit your change. If you hit enter, instead of that checkbox, your text disappears. I don't know why this happens, but it does. Command Z will undo whatever you just did, or Control Z on a PC. I'm using a Mac. Always use this checkbox to commit your text changes. Now we have a subtle glow on this text called this outer glow. You can just turn it off if you want, which I think I like that, but let's go in and change it just so you can see how to do it. Double click and just go into the color, change your color, maybe white. You can change the opacity if you want it more. Hit OK. I think I'm going to turn off the outer glow though for this one. Go into the year, change it to whatever year it is. Checkbox. This one has the outer glow too, which is turned off here. But again, if you wanted to change it, go in, click, change your color. I'm going to turn it off because the player name's outer glow is off. So they go together. For the sport, there's this sport script, which is this font that's turned on. If you prefer a more blocky font, there's a one down here that matches the name. If you want to move it, make sure your move tool is selected over here. If it's ever not selected, you can always hit V on your keyboard and it will bring up the move tool. And then you make sure that your layer is selected, and then you can just drag it. Alternatively, if you don't want to make sure this move tool is checked, you can always just hit Command T and drag. I'm dragging with my mouse here. Checkbox to commit your change. To change the actual text, double click into it, hit delete, and then I type this all in caps. So moving forward, we have almost everything done. This particular poster has a cool little feature called a player shadow. And to do that, I've created an action for you guys, which was located in your zip file. So to load your action, you would go to Window, Actions. And then you would go and click on these 3 or 4 lines and go to Load Actions. And wherever you had downloaded your zip file, you need to navigate over to there, and that's where this player shadow action will be. And just hit Open. Now that your action is loaded, you need to run it. But first, make sure that your player layer is selected, because the action makes a shadow based on the shape of the player. So go to Actions and go to this second player shadow. That's the action itself. And then make sure that you can hit this triangle, and it says yes you can, play selection. There it goes. And now you have, go back to layers, here's your player shadow based on the shape of your player image. You can turn it off and see it with it off, and then with it on. It just adds a nice touch, I think, of dimensionality to the composite. You can also, if you want to move it, hit Command T, can drag it like that way. If you wanted the shadow to stay there, I mean that way. You can do, you know, all kinds of things. If you wanted to drag it there, say, you can hit return, and then I would probably make the opacity a little bit less in this case. So I'm going to hit Command Z, and just leave it as it was originally because I like that look. So we are pretty much done. There's just a couple of little things here that can, you know, you can make it look a little bit different. At the very top here, we have these two layers, Intensify Color and Enhance Color. So I'm going to turn them both off. And that's a look, like a softer look if you like that. The Intensify just kind of brightens it up, makes it crisper. And then the Enhance does some different things. And it's going to do, if you look at it actually, in this case, it's turning the purple more pinkish. This is called a color lookup, and it's going to change different colors different ways. So you might not like it, say for the purple, because it's too pink to you, and then you can just turn it off. Or you can click on it and you can reduce the opacity, so basically you're reducing the effect. And then one other thing down here, there's this thing called a vignette. It's a group, but if you turn it off completely, it makes your image look pretty washed out. So turn it back on and then open it. And this is the original vignette. It's just add some blackness around the edges. And if you want to intensify that blackness, click on Vignette More, and it will make it darker, which I think with the purple, that actually looks pretty cool. It's just really going to be dependent on your team's colors and like the final look you want to go for. If you have any questions, email support@Kreatives with a K, Kreatives Studio.com. Happy creating!